Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle FtW, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Vanguard video. Today we are back with another episode of Blueprint Review. This is episode 134, the real episode 134. And today we are using the Gravesong blueprint for the Gracy auto shotgun, which is blueprint number 2 out of the previous bundle. I can't remember what it's called in all honesty. But here's what the blueprint looks like. And I thought that it was the combat shotgun because the combat shotgun is actually Shotgun Baker in this game. But unfortunately, it's glitched, like everything in this game. And according to the game itself, the Shotgun Baker is actually the Gracy Auto. And if you guys remember my last episode of Blueprint Review using this Gracy Auto, I am nervous for this video. But anyways, hopefully we can jump to the gameplay and do pretty well. I am nervous about this weapon, but maybe it'll be a better blueprint than the last one, because I think the last one I gave like a 3 out of 10 or something. So hopefully this one is better, and I'll see you guys all in the gameplay. Alright guys, welcome to the dream lobby for me. Seriously, this is a dream lobby, because I don't want to use this weapon any more than this game. Seriously, I mean, the Gracy Auto is probably the worst weapon I've ever used in the entire Call of Duty franchise. I mean, it is just horrible in like every way. And I don't know if it's because of just I'm using a blueprint of it, but this thing is, I mean, look at that. I just wasted 5 shots into one guy. And let me switch right to cold-blooded, because this game is only fun with the cold-blooded on. I mean, I try to do well with this weapon, but it's not even, it's the worst shotgun in the game too. It's not just like one of the worst weapons in the game. It's like the worst shotgun in the game. So getting a game on shipment is the best thing that could have happened, because now I don't have to try. I can just show this game no matter what, and we can just move on to a new Blueprint Review series. I also did want to talk to you guys about something as well with this game. I know that bundles are kind of a big deal to my Blueprint Review series, but a lot of the bundles in this game are really not good. They're not really worth money. So, plus, I mean, there's a couple of things. So what I'm trying to say basically is that I'm gonna probably slow down pretty heavily on the Blueprint Review videos with bundles, mostly because I mean, the truth is I need to save money. I buy all of the bundles in the game with my own money, and spending, you know, $20 every week is $20 that I could save for other things, like going out and about or doing stuff like that. So I'm going to keep the Blueprint Review series because I love it, but I'm going to be covering mainly I'm going to be covering mainly Battle Pass blueprints, but, you know, if there's like a really, really rare bundle or a really big deal bundle like a Mastercraft or maybe an Ultra Skin or an Operator bundle, then maybe I'll do that, buy it and review it. But for the moment, I think I'm going to stick to the Battle Pass blueprints just to save myself money, and just because, I mean, again, as I said, the bundles really aren't worth the money, to be completely honest. I mean, a Gracy Auto useless blueprint is just no one's gonna want to buy it, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna be doing from now on. But anyways, I don't want to use this blueprint anymore. It's just not even worth it. So I will see you guys all in 2 seconds to go ahead and review the blueprint. Alright guys, welcome into the lobby. We're taking a look at the Gravesong blueprint for the Gracy Auto, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. Starting off here with the first attachment, we have ourselves the A5 smoothbore muzzle, the sawed-off barrel, the monocular reflector for the optic. For the stock, we have ourselves the CGC H4. For the underbarrel, we have ourselves the M19 30 strife angled. For the magazine, we have ourselves extra pellets, which cause increased damage output. We have incendiary for the ammo type. For the grip, we have ourselves the hatch grip. For the proficiency, we have ourselves frenzy, and finally for the kit we have ourselves heavy hitter. So really quick, before we jump into the review, I just wanted to look at some of these attachments for this weapon. So we have this one, And then we have these ones here as well. So I think this thing could be good. Like, I honestly think that this thing could be good. Put this attachment on, put some hipfire attachments on it, put on a really good ammo type. And I think this thing could be good. Unfortunately, though, it's not good. It's another really bad blueprint. Let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off here with the aesthetic. Honestly, the aesthetic isn't too bad, but it's not, I mean, it's not anything amazing. This looks like a really big zombies blueprint, to be completely honest. It looks very, very zombie-esque, especially that sort of logo or emblem on the grip. And honestly, the grip is probably the best looking attachment on this weapon. But aesthetic-wise, I think, I think a 7 is fair. I mean, does it look better than the last blueprint? I would say so. I think I gave the last one maybe a 6 or a 5. I can't remember what I gave the last one, to be honest, but I think this one, a fair rating for the aesthetic is going to be a 7 out of 10. I think it looks pretty cool. Next, for the practicality, again, I didn't really even want to use this blueprint. Once I found out that it was a Gracy auto, I was like, I don't really want to use this thing, but I'm going to use it anyways, because again, this is the blueprint review series, and in the bundle, you use what you get, and it's just not very good at all. The class is just not strong. Maybe, this attachment kind of redeems it a tiny bit. The stock is pretty good, the grip is pretty good, and Frenzy is pretty good, and the Incendiary makes this thing even sort of viable, except it reduces the damage range. So, I mean, they just really like to hurt this weapon in a lot of ways. I mean, we've hurt the damage range with the sawed-off, and we've hurt the damage range with the Incendiary. So it's just not very good. So, as practicality-wise, it's going to get a 4 out of 10. To be fair, because it's just not very good. And then last but not least, what is the the longevity of this blueprint? It has no longevity for me. I never can see myself using this. Yes, I will rank this weapon up, and yes, I will get it gold for the atomic grind, but until that point, I will never touch this thing ever. Unfortunately, it's just not very good. I can make a better class very, very quickly if I just used a regular blueprint. But to be fair, though, I'm not going to give it a 1 out of 10, as in I'll never use it, because I will use it probably to get it ranked up, because again, it does have a pretty nice aesthetic. I'll just have to wait for the Chariot 33 Sport, and then I'll definitely switch some things around to make it, a better class. But at its current state, the blueprint itself, I probably will never use this thing, so it's going to be getting just barely not a 1 out of 10, and it's going to get a 3 out of 10. So putting that all together, this blueprint is going to be getting a 4.6 out of 10, which I think just barely edges out the previous blueprint that I use of the Gracy auto. I mean, this shotgun just isn't good. It's the blueprints that they've given us with this game so far for this weapon are really, really bad, and I don't recommend using them at all. So now that is all out of the way, and again, another negative review with the Gracy auto, I just need to never buy a bundle with the Gracy auto in it unless it's just a really, really good class. So anyways, let's just go ahead and go over the bundle real quick. So again, this is one of the blueprints, as well as the weapon charm that you guys can see right there. It also comes with the calling card and the emblem that you guys can see right there. And then it also comes with a few sprays, which I'll show you guys in a second, and the Blood Crow blueprint for the MG42, which you guys can see right here, which looks pretty dang awesome. And I did like this blueprint quite a bit. I think it was pretty good. And then the sprays are going to be over here in the customization. Yeah, in the customization. So the sprays that were within the bundle were the High Five and then the Pinout Girls. So is this bundle worth it? Not really, honestly. Just to be completely honest, and kind of talk about what I talked about in the very short gameplay, it's not worth it to buy this bundle. I mean, yes, the MG42 is pretty good, but that was probably all I would get the bundle for. The blueprints, aesthetic-wise, are not really the greatest. I mean, if you like the rustic sort of old-fashioned look, then yeah, it would be worth it for you. And the calling card is really cool, to be completely honest, but everything else is not really that good. Plus, the Gracy auto is a very bad weapon, especially with the blueprint that I just reviewed. So honestly, I would say no. And I mean, there's a big reason why I'm not going to be doing blueprint review videos in this game anymore that revolve around bundles, unless they're really special bundles, because they're just not worth it. honestly, in this game. I think I've maybe said one bundle is worth it, but the rest of them I haven't said are worth it at all. And that's just because the blueprints are pretty bad and they just don't really look that good. I mean, first, the Cold War bundles were incredible. I would even say that the Modern Warfare bundles were really good. But I mean, just looking at these bundles, you know, some of the blueprints are cool. Like, I mean, that one doesn't look too bad, but for the most part, they're just not that great, and that's why I'm going to be doing Battle Pass blueprints. I mean, if we just look, for example, there's one Battle Pass blueprint that is really, really awesome that I probably will, for those of you guys who make it this far in the video, you get a little bit of a sneak peek. We'll go ahead and head over here to the, I mean, even the Automaton one right here, the Versailles, looks really, really nice. And then this is the one I'm probably going to be using on Friday for you. So again, if you made it this far in the video, a little bit of a top secret little hint for you guys. We're going to be using the Ex Libris blueprint, which you guys can see right here, which looks awesome. And that's just the whole point of doing the series, is to use blueprints that are actually viable. And unfortunately, I would not recommend buying the bundle because it's not very good. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of Blueprint Review here within Call of Duty Vanguard. I do apologize if it seemed a little bit of a low effort, but when something is that bad, I'm not going to try and fight SBMM to try and get a good gameplay with it. I'm just going to say, you know what, this thing is not good, and move on, because that's just not something I really have, not only the time, but I also just don't really have the desire to sit and try and fight, try and really just struggle using a weapon that's not very good, especially because with the skill-based matchmaking and stuff, it would just be super unfun. And with the maps in this game as well, that's probably another negative about the blueprint. This game really isn't very nice to shotguns. The only map that is really good for shotguns is Das House and Radar, as well as Shipment. Maybe you know, you could get away with using a shotgun pretty well on sub pens, or maybe, you know, Dome as well as Castle. But a lot of the base maps, non-remakes, aren't very good for shotguns. They're really good for SMGs, assault rifles, everything like that, but shotguns not so much. But again, I'll definitely just not buy a bundle or use anything with the Gracy Auto for pretty much now on, because it's just not worth it. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, a like is always appreciated. If you want to check out any of my other previous Blueprint review videos, they will all be down below in the playlist in the description. Both of these episodes will be at the end of the video as well. And I'll see you guys all on another Call of Duty Vanguard video very, very soon.